What's going on, everybody? I know we got this is kind of an impromptu show this evening, but cut day has happened. We've actually had some big news come out within the last within the last 24 hours, I should say. So we're definitely going to get into that. We're definitely going to talk about it. And I hope everybody go ahead and share this show out. We're going to go ahead and get started in just a moment. And just making sure that audio and everything is in good shape so that we can go ahead and get this show going. Make sure y'all go ahead and share this show out to everybody. And we're definitely going to get started. But as you can see, it is cut day. Malik got traded and to Green Bay. We're going to talk about that. And then, of course, another big move. Another big move was made just a few hours ago as well. So we're going to talk about that as well. And so we're going to get ready to get this show started in less than 60 seconds.
Call me a god. Call me a god. Call me a god. Call me a god. Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody?
What's going on, Titan Nation? How's everybody doing? Welcome into TNT tonight. I am your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and we are going to have a fun episode on this night as today was Cut Down Day. It is Cut Down Day. The initial official 53-man roster is set, and I'm going to explain why I say initial 53-man roster in just a moment, but it is right now set. Definitely make sure y'all follow me on Facebook, Twitter, X, and Instagram. Make sure y'all follow me there. Super chats, of course, are also appreciated as well. Definitely follow me at TNT Enforcers on Facebook, Twitter, X, TNT Blue Enforcer, and then also at Titans_in_truth on Instagram. So definitely make sure y'all follow me there. Definitely got a few people chiming in. We got Big Lou coming in. What's up, AZ Mick? We got Daniel Berry. And then Titans South already making a prediction, 38-16 Titans over Bears week 1. And so, as I showed y'all on the graphic, we had a lot of news that's happened in the last 24 hours. And there's some big news. Obviously, today's cut day. We're going to get to that in just a moment. But also, the news of the day is the news last night is that Malik Willis, after throwing 2 TDs in the fourth quarter and a game-winning touchdown to beat the New Orleans Saints, the very next day gets traded to the Green Bay Packers. And also, of course, as we get into that, definitely make sure you guys share this show out. Smash that like button if you could for me, please. And if you're new to the channel, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that way you'll be in the know whenever I do go live like tonight. We're definitely going to go in on that. I figured instead of waiting till tomorrow, like while it's fresh and everything is happening, that's why I went ahead and came on to do a live one tonight. So definitely make sure you hit that like button, definitely hit that subscribe button, and also definitely hit Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, and Google Podcasts. I'm going to be uploading episodes tomorrow. So I'm definitely going to be making sure I do that. I know I've been a little bit behind on that. Forgive me for it. But we're definitely on the road. You know, the season's about to begin, and I am very excited about it. You know, we're definitely gonna have the live streams coming, the watch parties. We're gonna definitely have TNT post game. Definitely gonna be bringing back the Truth League report. That's coming back as well. Talking about stuff around the NFL, which there were definitely some moves around the NFL as well. Notable moves. You know, notable moves that have happened inside the NFL that we're definitely going to talk about. So we're definitely going to stay tuned for that. But first off, we're going to start with the fact that the Titans did beat the New Orleans Saints. The Titans did beat the New Orleans Saints 30-27. Now, the first team offense really started off really started off good. I mean, they started off really good. Will Levis, 2 drives, 10 points off of those drives, looked extremely efficient and looked very poised in the pocket. Mason Rudolph definitely led to some points as well. I believe led to a couple of field goals, if I'm not mistaken. But, obviously definitely solidified himself as the number 2. Definitely solidified himself as the number 2 on this roster. And we're going to get to that in just a bit. And again, the aforementioned Malik Willis before, he got shipped out, through the game-winning touchdown. So definitely shout out and congrats to the Titans on that victory. And we're definitely going to get into, all of that. So, good win. They finished the offseason. They finished the preseason undefeated 3-0. But we all know that does not matter when the regular season is 12 days away, and we're getting ready to kick off the season. And so none of that matters now. Now we got the roster to where it is, and now it's time to get ready for the real deal, where the games do count. And so we're definitely going to get into that in just a quick second. Hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. I just had to grab me some water right quick. But now that the preseason is over, let's talk about what has happened since the season. Okay. Yes. So let's talk about what's happened since the season has ended. I mean, the preseason has ended. As soon as that game was over, the Titans have traded quarterback Malik Willis. So, did well, put enough on tape, and Malik Willis gets traded to the Green Bay Packers, and the Titans get back a 2025 7th round pick. And I have to admit, the fact that they got anything, back to get anything from Malik Willis is a huge victory. And OC says, we're back. Football season at TNT. Heard you and TA cooking up something. Me and TA have talked. We have definitely talked. I know we've kind of missed each other as far as doing some live stream there, because I know he's out on the West Coast and I'm here in the South. But yes, there is definitely I'm not going to confirm what it is, but I can tell you I am in talks. I've slowly been in talks with Titan Anderson, and I'm also going to be trying to get in talks with Upload and the Upload Network as well. So I'm actually going to get in talks with some guys. I think something big is gonna happen. I think we gotta reassemble the Titan Avengers to get ready for the season. So I think that's definitely something. Right now I cannot confirm or deny when or how this is gonna work. All I can say is we're in some preliminary talks right now. So let just hold on for that. Definitely be on the lookout. Miss Mims, how you doing? MHVACR, what's up, my guy? He said, ran out here making moves. You ain't lying about that. He is making moves. And so we're definitely going to talk about that. Ms. Mims seems upset with some of the players that got cut, and we're going to explain that in just a little bit. But the Titans did trade quarterback Malik Willis, which means Mason Rudolph is the number 2, which that's what I figured anyway. And I told y'all that Mason Rudolph would be the number 2. And so he gets traded to the Green Bay Packers for a 2025 7th round pick that the Titans do get back. And here are my thoughts on this. And I mentioned this. I did a little quick video last night, a quick moment of truth. Go check that out, by the way. And what I basically said was, this is a very interesting move. This is a good move for both sides. I think it's a good move for both sides. This is a win-win. First of all, Malik, he gets a change of scenery, which I think is much needed for him. He gets a chance to back up Jordan Love, which I presume he will be the backup quarterback in Green Bay, who we do play in week 3, by the way. Him and Andre Dill Pickler are going to be returning to Nashville. But I think how this is good for Malik, it's a fresh start. It's a change of scenery. He backs up Jordan Love. He gets to be under Matt LaFleur, who is a pretty decent offensive coordinator in his own right, even though I had my doubts about him when he was here. But again, I think, this is a fresh start for Malik. The fact is, I don't think he did not get a absolute fair shake. He did not get a fair shake here in Nashville. And I was listening a little bit to A to Z Sports this morning, and they were basically saying, who do you think is to blame for Malik Willis failing here? They said John Robinson. They said maybe Hugh Freeze, his old coach at Liberty. Maybe Malik himself. I said Mike Vrabel, and I think a lot of people went that direction. Mike Vrabel failed Malik Willis. He got better, especially this offseason, but Mike Vrabel failed him. Mike Vrabel and his coaching staff did not put Malik Willis in the best position to succeed. They set him up to fail. And I've said this ad nauseum. I've talked about this. And so, TNT play out. My God, kids took over my YouTube. What's up, T? What's up with you? He didn't get a fair shake. He didn't get a fair opportunity to really be that guy. Vrabel failed him. And so I'm happy for Malik that Malik gets a chance to start over, fresh air, change of scenery. And I'm actually rooting for him to do well because he's a good guy. He is a good guy. And I think in the right system, I think he could be a nice backup quarterback. So hopefully he doesn't have to come in against us, because I do think Harold Landry or Arden Key, they are going to murder Andre Dill Pickler. They're going to murder him. If he's the starting left tackle, I would switch, putting both of them on that side all day long. I would attack him. He's going to get Jordan Love killed. I do agree. King Isaac, what's up with you? I know there was some comments above, and I'm going to get to that in just a little bit. But, the cuts are coming through. But for the Titans side, the reason why this is a good move, again, you got something back for him, which I wasn't sure you would have gotten anything for him, but you did. You get back a 7th-round pick, so you're stockpiling some picks. You had a pick in each round except the 3rd round, so you get back a pick you lost, so you now have, you have every pick in every round except the 3rd round, but you got 2 7s now. And so I think that's a good thing. So, the Titans have an extra roster spot, and now Malik gets to move on. The Titans get a draft pick back. So I think this is a win-win for both sides. I think it's a win-win for both sides. I really do. And so I wish Malik the best of luck. And I'm gonna cheer for him. Like Miss Jackie said, Malik did not get a fair shake. I 100% agree. LaFleur and company will know how to develop the skills he already has and his natural arm strength and athleticism. I 100% agree. Sting to Poison says it's Mike Barbell. Wow. So yeah, I definitely do agree. I think in the end, this is a good thing for both sides. Now, before we get to the cuts, another major move that was made now was this one. The Tennessee Titans went out and got up-and-coming star inside linebacker Ernest Jones IV from the LA Rams. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with y'all. I had never heard of Ernest Jones IV until yesterday. And until yesterday. And that was because, I definitely heard the rumor that the Rams, gave him permission to seek a trade. He's going into year 4. He's definitely one of the 1st-round picks. So obviously you have 4 years. You get 4 years and then you're a free agent. And he was going into year 4. The Rams, could not get a contract worked out with him. And so they gave him permission to seek a trade. The Tennessee Titans get in on it, and they get the trade done. And check out the compensation. And we were wondering about that when the news first broke. What was going to be the compensation for him. The Tennessee Titans get the Rams traded Ernest Jones IV and a 6th-round pick, not in 2025, but in 2026. So not even next year's draft, the draft after that. So the Rams trade, so we get a 2026 6th-round pick and Ernest Jones IV, and all we ship back to the Rams is a 2026 5th-round pick. So basically we swapped rounds with the Rams. So we give up a 2026 5th-rounder, but we get back a 2026 6th-round pick and Ernest Jones, which right now on paper, that looks like an absolute steal. That is a fleece job. And this is a guy who had over 145 tackles last year, 4.5 sacks. He had 114 tackles last year. And so he's always been a very productive player. And so I absolutely like this move, especially with what happened with Chance Campbell going down his ACL tear for the year. He's out for the season. Otis Reese is still in concussion protocol. So they were pretty thin at inside linebacker, and they go get a starting inside linebacker, which basically means Gibby, he ain't starting this year. It looked like it was going to be Kenneth Murray and Jack Gibbons starting the season in Chicago. That's not going to be the case. Now it's going to be Kenneth Murray and Ernest Jones IV starting in 12 days against the Chicago Bears. And I like that a heck of a lot better, because this told me, as Derek Mason said on Willie and D-Mace earlier today, making this move said they didn't fully believe in Jack Gibbons being a starter. They did not believe in him being a starter. And I think this is the right move. Time for real football. Ms. Mims says she's nervous about the season. XD Gamer says you want to make a bet. Well, what you got? Let's see what you got, XD, because I know you're going to be talking a lot of crap all season. I know you are. So we definitely go do that. So let's definitely get, so I think in the end is a good move. Now they do have to work out a contract extension with Ernest Jones, because I mean, that's the reason that the Rams traded him in the first place. So we're definitely going to get into that. And so Ernest Jones the fourth, I really do like this pick. I actually do. So we're gonna see how good this goes. And Sting the Poison says he must be replacing Aziz Al-Shire. And basically that is what's happened. Brian Bass says Chef ran in the kitchen again. So that means there's probably more to come, and I expect that. So I think this is a great pickup for the Tennessee Titans. But y'all know what today is. Today was cut day. Today is cut day. They had to get the roster down to 53 by 3 o'clock today. They have done that, and we are about to get right into it. I have the roster here with who I think who is gonna make the team. Who's gonna make the team, and who has made the team rather. And I also got a few guys that they made the team, but they shouldn't be looking for real estate just yet. They shouldn't get too happy. But we're going to get into that right now. And let's start on the offensive side of the ball. And we start off with, of course, quarterback. Now, I originally was thinking about this as far as I was making my predictions. I was thinking about this before. I was thinking about this yesterday. I was kind of in my mind thinking who I think is going to make the team and who doesn't. At first, I had 3 quarterbacks. I had Malik making this team before the trade happened. So I had Malik on the team. I thought they would keep 3 quarterbacks. But they go with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph, which surprised to no one. Mason Rudolph looked better than Malik and should be the number 2, has more experience. At running back, you got Tajay Spears, Tony Pollard. We knew that. The battle for the 3rd running back was a little interesting. Julius Chestnut edges out Hassan Haskins and Jabari Small. When Jabari Small fumbled yesterday in New Orleans, when Jabari Small fumbled against New Orleans Sunday, I was like, yep, he's done. He's cut. Because that was major. That was a turnover. That was a major turnover. And, Chestnut did look better of the 3. Chestnut looked better of the 3 right now. And, of course, Callie was basically saying, Hassan Haskins is a special team demon, blah, blah, blah. But Hassan Haskins really didn't bring anything in the run game. And Chestnut just looked better. And so that's why I think Chestnut got the nod. That's why Chestnut, I think, got the nod over, Hassan Haskins. So Haskins did get cut. Also, let's go to wide receiver. Wide receiver, no surprise to me. This is exactly how I had it in my mind. 6 wide receivers with Hopkins, Ridley, Traylon Burks, Tyler Boyd, NWI, and Jaquan Jackson. And Jaquan Jackson is essentially this team's kick and punt returner. And I think he can bring a little bit to the passing game as well. So I definitely do. And so what that meant is Mason Kinsey got cut. Bryce Oliver, a guy I was really impressed with, got cut. I thought maybe they possibly, long shot, could keep 7 receivers, but I think Bryce Oliver is going to be on the practice squad. Mason Kinsey gets cut. Kearis Jackson gets cut. I think he'll be back on the practice squad. But Kyle Phillips got cut, which, again, it's basically similar to another guy we're going to talk about on the other side of the ball who also got cut. The injury bug was just a factor, and he was hurting now, which I think is the reason why he got cut. So, we're definitely going to find out. Now, Ms. Mims is saying Haskins not cut, he's on the practice squad. Well, Ms. Mims, Hassan Haskins is not on the 53-man roster. He got released. Now, they may bring him back on the practice squad, which can begin tomorrow, because a lot of players got to clear waivers first. So the waiver wire is going right now. And so players got to clear the waiver wire before you can start putting your practice squad together. Hassan Haskins has to clear the waiver wire first. Once that's done, if the Titans want to bring him back on the practice squad, they can. But Hassan Haskins, unfortunately, I know you're a Michigan fan, like myself, he did not make the 53-man roster. And neither did Kyle Phillips. And I kind of figured once Tyler Boyd was brought in, he was gone anyway. Jaquan Jackson could do the same thing, and looks like he's a better, option in the return game. Well, Ms. Mims, I will check on that. Tight end is where this is very puzzling. And it's not because of who is there. Well, in a small way it is. But it's the fact that they kept 5 tight ends. 5. I expected 3, maybe 4. I was not thinking 5. And so obviously Chig, Josh Wiley, who is still in concussion protocol, but he'll be good to go. Nick Vanette, who definitely showed a little bit in that Saints game. David Martin Robinson, who I heard his name ad nauseum and deserved to make the team. He worked his tail off to make the team, so he was well deserved. And the last guy, Thomas Odukoya, of course, from the Netherlands, who came to the Titans through the NFL International program. But you notice I put an asterisk by his name. And there's a few guys on this roster who I have asterisks by. And the reason why I have that is these are guys that I would say, okay, they initially made the roster, but they don't need to be decorating their locker, putting their pictures of their girlfriend or their wife, their kids. They don't want to be, basically setting up shop. Thomas Odukoya, he don't need to be looking for a brand new house just yet. Because he's a guy that I think, there's plenty of guys in the NFL, especially with the Titans, they make the team, but they're not going to be on the team week 1. Like there are guys on this roster that in about 48 hours, in about 24 to 48 hours, are not going to be on this team. And so Clay says, is our boy Stonehouse healthy? Yes, he looks like it. He looked good. Overchicken says, I love how everyone all of a sudden hates Nick Folk and thinks the other UDF guy was already better than Folk. Now, we're going to get into that in just a minute on that particular part. We're definitely going to get into that on the kicking situation because it's very interesting. Kearis Jackson, no, did not make the team. Hopefully he does get back on the practice squad. Like I said, Sting says, can't believe they kept Chestnut, but I think, he was just a better option. MHVACR said they should have cut Rashard Weaver too. He's a liability, and we're going to get into that. Derek says, glad we got a pick for Malik, an opportunity to be a backup in a better system. I agree. MHVR says, salute truth. I appreciate that. Salute to you. TNT Play Out, what's up, my guy? And so I'm just kind of going through the comments and things like that. You know, he was TNT talking about the trade. Yeah, I agree. That's a steal. Steen the Poison says, I think Kenneth Murray might get traded. I wouldn't say that just yet. They just signed him. So Thomas Odukoya, I would not get comfortable just yet. Because I think once the waiver wire hits, he's going to be a guy that's on the team today, not on the team tomorrow. And then on the offensive line, you got 9. You got, of course, your starting 5 with J.C. Latham, Peter Skoronski, Lloyd Cushenberry, Dylan Radins, Nicholas Petit-Ferrer. Brian Callahan has already come out and said, hey, that is our starting offensive line. Right now, Jalen Duncan is the 6th guy. Looks like he's going to be playing right or left tackle. And I am not a fan of the Titans keeping him. He reminds me a lot of Dennis Daly. Maybe not as terrible as Dennis Daly, but he ain't far away. So I'm not very happy that he's still on the team, nor am I with John Ojukwu. That's why I got asterisks by their names. More so John Ojukwu. John Ojukwu, I wouldn't get comfortable. And one reason why is because, you know, I definitely have heard, I saw that the 49ers released former Tennessee Titans offensive lineman Chris Hubbard. So, Chris Hubbard is a guy that if the Titans wanted to, I would go pick him up right now. Now, the thing about Chris Hubbard is he is a vested veteran. So if you pick him up now and he's on the roster week 1, he gets the money, whatever the contract was, he's guaranteed for the entire season. If you wait until week 2, the money is not guaranteed for the whole season. And so, you know, there was some, you know, I was listening on Stillman and Company today, wondering, is it worth the risk to go ahead, bring Hubbard in now, solidify your offensive line, cut Ojukwu or Duncan, whichever one, and he's your swing tackle, and solidify that, and he's, you know, guaranteed throughout the year? Or do you wait till after Chicago week 1, hope that he is still available, and then you pick him up week 2, and the money is not guaranteed for the entire season? I would honestly go ahead and pick him up now. I would go ahead and take the risk. I would go ahead and have him as a swing tackle. I don't want, because again, I don't want to put all my faith that all 5 offensive linemen are going to be healthy all year. That something's going to happen. If Latham gets hurt or NPF gets hurt, and Duncan or Ojukwu got to go in, you're in trouble. Easily. So I'm a little worried about that. Sting the Poison says, I think they're going to move Duncan to right tackle. I don't know. Ms. Mims said, you get rid of Petit-Ferrer, still not good at all. I beg to differ. I mean, he came off of injury, hasn't practiced all offseason because of injury. He's recovered. And he was immediately put into the starting role, and the line got better. And he looked good against New Orleans. It wasn't bad. So, I definitely like that. Titan Truth says, is it confirmed D-Hop will be ready for week 1? According to Ian Rappaport, and according to others in the circle within the Titans, other media, most likely D-Hop's going to be ready to go week 1. It is highly likely. I mean, I would say, barring a disastrous, barring a disaster with injury or anything, D-Hop's going to be ready to go week 1. They've held him out to get him ready for Chicago. D-Hop didn't need to play in the preseason at all. Really, Calvin Ridley didn't need to play in the preseason, but he's a new guy. Like next year, he ain't going to be in the preseason because it's like, we're going to make sure he's ready for week 1. So it does look like it is looking very good. D-Hop is going to be ready to go week 1, without a doubt. So, definitely. But John Ojukwu, Jalen Duncan, don't get comfortable. Andrew Rupchich makes the team. Of course, he's done some good at right guard. And then Daniel Brunskill, reliable. Absolutely. But Sting the Poison saying, you're behind me. I've already said it. I think you bring in Hubbard and you let Ojukwu or Duncan walk. Blake Corum probably ain't getting traded because I think that kid's going to be pretty decent. We'll see. I know she want all Michigan guys, and I know she want Petit Ferrer because he's Ohio State. I get that. So, but that's the offense. Again, Duncan, Ojukwu, Thomas Odukoya, in my opinion, don't get too comfortable. On the defensive side of the ball, this is, I think tight end, too many. Defensive line, corner, too little. But I do think the waiver wire is going to help with that. On the D-line, you got Big Jeff. You got Big Tavondre Sweat. I like those two together. You got SJD, Sebastian Joseph Day. And Keandre Coburn makes it over Quentin Bohanna. So, I was surprised that Bohanna did not make it. I was very surprised about that Bohanna did not make the team. TK McClendon, of course, is out for the year. But I do think they need to add another defensive lineman, and I think the waiver wire is definitely going to be somewhere they're going to do that. Offensive line, I think they're definitely going to look at the waiver wire. Also, defensive line, I think the waiver wire, they're definitely going to be in work. And the Titans are 7th in the waiver wire. So if 6 other teams don't put a claim in for somebody, the Titans will get that player. But I like the 4. Keandre Coburn did show a few things in the preseason. I think that's a solid pickup, but I think they're going to pick up another guy. Edge rusher. You got Harold Landry, Arden Key starting. Jalen Harrell, who has been the biggest surprise of the entire training camp. Love him. I think he's the 3rd pass rusher. Rashard Weaver, Caleb Murphy. Weaver and Murphy, again, don't get too comfortable. You're on the roster for now. And Sting the Poison just read my mind. I would keep Murphy over Weaver. Of the 4, and remember I said this, I'm going to show you. One of the guys I said who was in trouble is Rashard Weaver. Kyle Phillips got cut. Haskins got cut. Malik got traded. Trey Avery, I'll go ahead and say it, he got cut. So I basically got 4 of the 5 right. And I don't think Weaver is 100% a lock either. So if I'm him, yeah, I would not get too comfortable if I'm Rashard Weaver. But I think Caleb Murphy has more to offer than Rashard Weaver. But again, that's another position I think the Titans are going to look at the waiver wire, is pass rusher. And I wanted to say there was a guy that I thought I heard could be an interesting pickup. Shane Ray, I think, will be on the practice squad. I think Shane Ray will be on the practice squad. I think Quinn Bohanna will be on the practice squad. And maybe, Abdullah Anderson is a vested veteran, so he's a guy that could get picked up right now. He doesn't have to go through waivers. But I think both of those guys could be on the practice squad. Inside linebacker, right now they have 7. You got Kenneth Murray. Obviously, I added Ernest Jones to 4 because we traded for him. Pushing Jack Gibbons down. James Williams, the safety turn linebacker from Miami, who has been impressive. Otis Reed the 4th. I mean, I would probably say another guy that could have an asterisk, don't get too comfortable. Cedric Gray, he's dealing with a nerve injury in his shoulder right now. He does make the roster, but he could be a guy that they put on IR with designated to return. You get 2 of those designations. And Luke Gifford, who's been a special teams guy. All in all, I feel much better about the linebacker room now than I did 24 hours ago. With Ernest Jones in there, him and Kenneth Murray starting, I like it. Now they got to work out the contract, but I think it's a good thing. At corner, only 4. They're going to add another corner, probably 2, in the waiver wire. I guarantee you they're going to do that. You got Snead, Awuzie, McCreary, Brownlee, your top 4. That was automatic. They cut Caleb Farley. They cut Trey Avery. They cut Gabe Giuliani, which I was very disappointed in Gabe Giuliani. There was a lot of smoke about him in OTAs and leading up to training camp. He got his chance in the game, did not show anything. He'll probably be back on the practice squad. Eric Guerra got cut as well. I think he'll be back on the practice squad. I would like to see Caleb Farley back on the practice squad with a chance to maybe redeem himself. But I think they want to check the waiver wire and see what's there. It would not surprise me if Caleb Farley is back on the 53-man roster. At safety, right now there's 5. You say bring Josh Dobbs back. Dobbs is in San Francisco, at least right now. But at safety, you got Amani Hooker, Quandre Diggs. They're your starters. Jamal Adams will be your 3rd safety. Elijah Molden, Mike Brown. Again, asterisk. Mike Brown, don't get too comfortable. You might get cut for somebody else. But I know Mike Brown could be there for special teams. And then special teamers wise, you got Old Faithful Folklore, Nick Folk, Ryan Stonehouse, who is back to health, which is incredible. And then, of course, Morgan Cox, our long snapper. Now, Miss Mims was very upset that we cut Braden Narvelson. Said, what really breaks my heart, they let the kicker go. He made a 59-yarder to win the first preseason game against the Niners. No, he didn't do it against the Niners. He hit that 59-yarder and then a 46-yard game winner against Seattle. That's when that was. Where can they find another kicker? Again, you got Nick Folk right now. Braden Narvelson definitely needs to be on the practice squad. I am concerned he might get picked up by somebody because that 59-yard field goal is on film. Now, in New Orleans, he had a 58-yard kick. I think it was either 57 or 58-yard that fell short. And that was where that guy, Samson Nakua, almost returned it back for a touchdown. But I didn't really get mad about him missing that kick because, number one, when you're outdoors, you got the wind. If the wind is at your back, you kicking a long kick like that, the wind can help push that kick through the uprights. But when you're in a dome situation, you don't have a lot of wind. Your foot has to put it through. If you don't have the wind trajectory to help you, when you're in a dome, you're not going to have any wind or air to help push that kick through. And so longer kicks are harder to make. Longer kicks are harder to make in domes than they are outdoors. Because if you're going with the wind, it can help push that field goal through. Of course, if you're going against the wind, it can help mess it up too. But you don't have any wind in the dome. But I do think Braden Narvelson has to be on the practice squad if he clears waivers. And I think he should. So I think he'll definitely clear waivers. and be on the practice squad, and he very well will be the kicker of the future. Absolutely. But that is my 59, that is our 53-man roster as it stands right now. Of course, the guys that I, was hoping who made the team did. Jaquan Jackson, Julius Chestnut, Jalen Harrell, David Martin Robertson. And Chance Campbell would have made the team. Unfortunately, in the game against New Orleans, he unfortunately tore his ACL. He is out for the season. And when I heard that news happen, oh my God, I was so bummed for him. I was bummed for him. I really was. I was very happy for him with the success he was having. And I actually thought, I thought he could have challenged for a starting spot. And I am with D09 on that one. Arden Key's got to step up. I agree totally. Unless the Titans go after like a Hassan Reddick. I could see that happening too. D09 says, I'm worried about the pass rush. A little bit, yes, but I'm not 100% worried. I'm really not. I think it's going to be okay. Because what we've seen, Denard Wilson's going to be aggressive. He's going to blitz like crazy. And Steven says, Rand wouldn't have made the trade today if Campbell didn't tear his ACL. I agree with that about 20%. I still think they would have made the trade because they don't believe in Jack Gibbons as a starter. I think with that trade, I think a guy like a Luke Gifford would have been, like a guy like a Luke Gifford or Otis Reese would have been cut. Because Chance Campbell would have at least been a special teams guy and maybe would have been a backup. So I think Chance still makes the team, and I think the trade still gets made. Because I didn't believe in Gibbons either. I really didn't. So I am very bummed for Chance Campbell. And I want to put this graphic up. Remember, this was back, I want to say before the draft. This was back before the draft because this is around the Stanley Cup final. Well, no, this was after the draft. But this is like, I want to say maybe late May, early June. ESPN Analytics only gave the Tennessee Titans 5% chance to win the division. I honestly think that's going to go up. Everybody is drinking the Texan Kool-Aid right now. Everybody thinks the Texans are just the it team right now. Everybody is on C.J. Stroud's jockstrap. They done already, after 1 year, done put him at number 20 in the top 100 players from last year. And so, I am not, there's going to be more moves to be made. OC615 says James Williams made it. Yes, he did. He did make it. And so that's the initial 53-man roster right now. Obviously, the waiver wire is going on right now. Of course, I'm reading something. There's an Eagles corner. That's a special teams guy getting interest from the Titans, among other teams who got cut. Might get back on the Philly practice squad. I saw Kadarius Toney got cut. I saw Kadarius Toney got cut. Yeah, Rocky Sin is another guy from the 49ers I would consider bringing in as a depth piece at corner. I would definitely consider Rocky Sin. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything new before I do get out of here. Like the rumors were coming out that the Titans were interested in James Bradbury, the cornerback safety from the Eagles, but it looked like he survived. He could be a trade candidate. But they got to add some more corners. But some guys that got cut: Traver, Quinn Bahana, Caleb Farley, Eric Guerra, Isaiah Eaton, Abdullah Anderson, you know, some of these guys. Shane Ray, I think, will be on the practice squad. Corey Levin, Garon Christian, and Leroy Watson, the tackles, I think they'll be on the practice squad as well, because, I mean, we'll need all the offensive linemen we can get. Bryce Oliver, I think, will be on the practice squad. Braden Narvelson, practice squad. Cole Spencer, practice squad, I think. Obviously, Chance Campbell, TJ McClendon, out for the year. Colton Dowell on the PUP, because, he is still recovering from tearing his ACL late last year. So that is the initial 53-man roster right now. And, I'm trying to see if maybe there is a guy, that the Titans could look at and be like, like D. Eskridge, that guy can run. He has some speed. Wouldn't be a bad idea from Seattle. But again, a guy like Rashard Weaver, I would not get too comfortable. And so Luke Gifford is another guy that I'm like, don't get comfortable. And I'm trying to see, and that's, a lot of J-Rob picks are gone. 2020, no picks. 2021, only 3 picks are still on the roster. Radence, Elijah Bolden, and I just saw it. Radence, Elijah Bolden, and Rashard Weaver. And I don't even think Weaver should be on the team. So that is that. And, a lot of people are really liking this Ernest Jones trade. And I do too. But I want y'all to give me your thoughts. What do y'all think about this roster? What do you think of the moves? Who should have been cut that wasn't? Who do you think should be on the team that's not? And so, now Ms. Mims is mentioning somebody has gotten released. I'm trying to see who that is exactly. Yeah, I see. It looks like Tim Patrick, Broncos wide receiver. Looks like he's going to the Lions. Bailey Zappi. I think Terry McCormick, put that out saying that that's a guy that Bailey Zappi, a guy the Titans could look at. Now, I gotta admit, this was very interesting that I saw around the league. I want to say this is the 2021 draft class of quarterbacks. No, 22. The year Burks got picked up. The year Burks, 2022. Of all the quarterbacks that were selected in that draft, only 2 are currently with their team. Skylar Thompson with the Dolphins, Brock Purdy with the 49ers. Kenny Pickett got traded to the Jets. He was a first-round pick. Desmond Ridder. Now, Kenny Pickett got traded to the Eagles. He's still on the Eagles now. Desmond Ridder got traded. Desmond Ridder got traded to the Arizona Cardinals and just got released. Malik just got traded to the Packers. Matt Corral got cut by the Panthers. He's a free agent. Bailey Zappi, cut by the Patriots. Sam Howell was with the Commanders, got traded to the Seahawks. And Chris Odelakun released by the Steelers on the practice squad of the Chiefs. And so I'm trying to see, Ms. Mims mentioned something about the Steelers. I'm like, I don't know what you mean. I'm trying to see who it was. I know Quez Watkins, a former Eagles wide receiver, seemed to got cut. I'm trying to see who you're talking about, Ms. Mims. Who is the guy? His whole name. I need his whole name because I'm not 100%. Like, I'm trying to see who it might be. But right now, definitely that is about it with the roster. I'm definitely going to be keeping up with the roster. If anybody, anybody who comes available, I will definitely bring that to your attention. I will definitely do that. So I think that's about it right now. And I definitely want to say, I'm very excited about this season. I am looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to what this season is gonna bring, and definitely trying to see, who are who's gonna be an impact. So I'm trying to see who Miss Mims is talking about. If I find out, I'll definitely mention it. Let's see. First he said Steelers, now you're saying Bills. I'm like, if I find out, we'll definitely talk about it. Definitely. Let's see. I am not sure who you're referring to. Not Lyle Collins got cut from the Bills. I would go scoop him up. And I want to say, is that Deion Jones, like the linebacker formerly of Atlanta? I think it is. Formerly the big starter in Atlanta, got cut. But more is definitely gonna come. You're definitely gonna find out about that. So everybody, if we had the Cowboy uniform jerseys on, they would say we are contenders. See how they do it? I agree. So we're definitely gonna find out more as far as cuts. Are you talking about Trubisky? Stevens released Trubisky. No, we don't need another quarterback. We're good. And I wouldn't want Trubisky anyway. But everybody, I think that's gonna do it for tonight's show. Depending on what happens, I may do a show tomorrow. Basically, the show I would have done tomorrow, I'm doing now since I just was figuring like, what, this had happened. I think it's exciting. Neville Gallimore. I want to say he was the guy that played for Oklahoma and was with the Patriots, I want to say. Yeah, guy that went to Oklahoma, played with Dallas. He's a third round pick of the 2020 draft. No, I'm thinking about Christian Barmore from Alabama. That's what I was thinking about. But Neville Gallimore cut. Mike Herndon is saying wouldn't be shocked if the Titans have interest in Gallimore. Only got 4 interior defensive linemen. And the fourth is a true nose tackle. Someone with a little pass rush. Neville Gallimore. Miami. I wouldn't mind that. We got too many tight ends though. So everybody, unless there's some other news that comes across, the waiver wire, which is going to be active. If we do see anything, I'll definitely talk about it. I'll do maybe a quick short or small video. Definitely going to talk about that, Stevie. What's up? Make sure, I appreciate any super chats that you might put in there. Definitely do appreciate that. Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the show. Help the algorithm by liking the show. Every last one of you, go like this show. Again, of course, the news, Malik Willis traded to the Green Bay Packers, and the Titans get inside linebacker Ernest Jones. And again, here is the 53-man roster. Here are the offensive guys, 2 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, 6 wide receivers, 5 tight ends for right now, 9 offensive linemen. Defense, 4 defensive linemen, 4 corners, 7 inside linebackers, 5 edge rushers, 5 safeties, and then, of course, R3 on special teams. And so, let me know what you think. Who should have been on the roster? Who should not be on the roster right now? Let me know in the comments below. I thank y'all for tuning in to TNT tonight. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer. Follow on these channels if you're not already. And we're 12 days away, y'all. It's almost time. Get ready for the Truth League report. And get ready for Down to the T. We're going to start bringing that back. As we get ready for, as college season has already begun, and we're going to get ready to get into that in just a bit, but tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.